Most people believe productivity problems come from lack of motivation. That idea is comfortable, but it is wrong. What actually destroys productivity is something much quieter: weeks without structure. Think about how most weeks begin. Monday arrives and you open your phone. Messages, emails, notifications, urgent requests. Before you even decide what matters, the world has already decided for you. By Tuesday, you are reacting instead of directing. By Wednesday, your energy is scattered. By Thursday, you are simply trying to survive the remaining tasks. And Friday disappears before you even understand what you accomplished. This is how most people live, not because they are lazy, but because their week has no design. The Stoics warned about this long ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself in Meditations, Book 2, Paragraph 1, that when you rise in the morning, you must remember what your work is as a human being, not to drift through the day, but to act with intention. The same principle applies to an entire week. A week without structure slowly erodes discipline, clarity, and progress. But when each day has a specific role, something powerful happens. Your attention becomes sharper. Your decisions become easier. Your work begins to compound. This video will show you a 5-day system that transforms chaos into direction. Monday becomes the day of control. Tuesday builds unstoppable momentum. Wednesday prevents silent collapse. Thursday expands your results. Friday converts experience into wisdom. Once you understand this structure, your week stops controlling you. You start controlling the week. Monday, the day of direction. Most people misunderstand Monday. They treat it as the day to start running. Strategic thinkers treat it as the day to start thinking. If Monday begins with chaos, the entire week inherits that chaos. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, chapter 25, that fortune favors those who prepare their ground before action begins. Monday is that preparation. The first habit is mental clarity before activity. Before touching work, sit quietly for a few minutes and look at the entire week ahead. Not your inbox, not social media. Your week. Ask one simple question: what actually matters during the next 5 days? The second habit is choosing 3 priorities for the week, not 10, not 15. 3 outcomes that would make this week meaningful. When everything feels important, nothing receives full attention. The third habit is designing your environment for focus. Remove distractions before they appear. Silence notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. Prepare the space where your best thinking will happen. The fourth habit is scheduling deep work blocks. These are protected periods where interruptions are not allowed. The most valuable work of the week should live inside these blocks. The fifth habit is emotional preparation. Difficult moments will appear during the week. Stress will test your patience. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself in Meditations, Book 10, Paragraph 4, that the mind becomes what it constantly rehearses. So rehearse calm, rehearse patience, rehearse discipline. When Monday begins with clarity, the rest of the week stops feeling chaotic. It begins to move with direction. Tuesday, the day of execution. Monday gives the week direction. Tuesday reveals whether that direction will turn into action or remain only intention. Many weeks fail on Tuesday, not because people lack goals, but because execution begins to feel uncomfortable. The mind searches for easier tasks, smaller distractions, quick victories that create the illusion of productivity. This is where discipline replaces motivation. Epictetus warned about this in Discourses of Epictetus, Book 1, Chapter 4. Do not explain your philosophy. Embody it. Tuesday is where the philosophy of productivity becomes visible through action. The first habit is beginning the day with the most demanding task. Your mind is strongest at the start of the day, yet most people waste this moment on shallow work. Strategic thinkers reverse that order. The hardest task receives the strongest mind. The second habit is working inside deliberate focus cycles. Long hours without structure destroy attention. Instead, commit to periods of concentrated work followed by short recovery breaks. Intensity, recovery, intensity again. The third habit is protecting your time from external noise. Every interruption fractures your attention. One message leads to another. One notification becomes 10 minutes lost. Protecting attention is not selfish. It is strategic. The fourth habit is practicing consistency. without waiting for motivation. Motivation is unstable. Discipline is reliable. Musonius Rufus taught that progress comes from repeated practice, not from occasional inspiration. Tuesday is the day where that practice becomes visible. The fifth habit is completing at least one meaningful outcome, not a half-finished task, not a scattered attempt. One finished result that moves your week forward. Completion builds momentum. When Tuesday ends with visible progress, your confidence grows. The week begins to feel structured instead of overwhelming, and that momentum prepares you for the most dangerous moment of the week, the middle, where many weeks quietly collapse without anyone noticing. Wednesday, the midweek reclarification. By Wednesday, something subtle begins to happen in most people's minds. The energy that fueled the start of the week fades. The clarity from Monday becomes blurred by unfinished tasks, unexpected problems, and mental fatigue. Many people continue working, but they are no longer moving with precision. They are simply pushing forward. This is where most weeks quietly lose their structure. The Stoics understood that progress requires periodic examination. Seneca wrote in Letters from a Stoic, letter 83, that the mind must return to itself and examine what has been done, what has been left undone, and what must now be corrected. Wednesday exists for this purpose. The first habit is honest review. Look at the 3 priorities defined on Monday and ask yourself a direct question. Are these still the right priorities, or has the week pulled you into distractions that only feel important? The second habit is eliminating low-value tasks. Some tasks appear urgent, but produce no meaningful progress. Strategic thinkers remove them before they consume more energy. The third habit is reorganizing the remaining days of the week. Plans rarely survive reality unchanged. Adjust your schedule to protect the tasks that truly matter. The fourth habit is restoring mental energy through deliberate pauses. A short walk, a quiet moment of reflection, or even stepping away from screens can reset attention. Epictetus reminded his students in Discourses of Epictetus, Book 2, Chapter 18, that a tired mind cannot judge clearly. The fifth habit is reconnecting with purpose. Ask yourself why the work of this week matters. When purpose returns, discipline becomes easier to sustain. Wednesday is not the day to panic about unfinished work. It is the day to recover control before the week slips away. Those who recalibrate in the middle of the week arrive at Thursday with renewed focus, while everyone else continues drifting through tasks that lead nowhere. Thursday, the day of strategic advance. By Thursday, most people begin to slow down. Fatigue accumulates. The mind starts anticipating the end of the week. Attention becomes weaker, and many tasks are pushed into autopilot. This is precisely why Thursday can become one of the most powerful days of the entire week. While others begin to coast, strategic thinkers accelerate. Niccolò Machiavelli explained in The Prince, Chapter 25, that fortune rewards those who act with preparation and boldness, while others hesitate. Thursday is the moment to use the structure built earlier in the week to create real progress. The first habit is dedicating time to long-term projects. These are the tasks that rarely feel urgent, but shape your future. When ignored, weeks pass without meaningful advancement. The second habit is making important decisions that have been postponed. Many decisions are delayed not because they are impossible, but because they require clarity and responsibility. Thursday is the moment to confront them with a calm and focused mind. The third habit is expanding your competence. Musonius Rufus taught that growth demands continuous training. Spend time learning something directly connected to your craft. Skill compounds just like effort. The fourth habit is strengthening communication. Progress rarely happens alone. Use Thursday to clarify ideas, align expectations, and improve collaboration with those involved in your work. The fifth habit is consolidating the progress of the week. Look at what has already been achieved and reinforce those results. When effort is reinforced, momentum continues. Thursday transforms effort into advancement. Those who use this day strategically arrive at Friday not exhausted, but with visible progress already built. And that progress prepares the mind for the final step of the week. Reflection. Friday, the Stoic review. By Friday, many people mentally abandon the week. The mind begins to drift toward rest, distraction, or the weekend ahead. Work is finished quickly, tasks are postponed, and the opportunity to learn from the week disappears. This habit quietly repeats itself every 7 days. The Stoics warned against living without examination. Seneca wrote in Letters from a Stoic, letter 83, that at the end of the day one must question the mind. What weakness did you resist? What fault did you correct? In what way did you become better? Friday is the moment to perform that examination on the entire week. The first habit is reviewing what worked. Look carefully at the actions that produced real progress. These actions reveal the patterns that deserve repetition. The second habit is recognizing mistakes without emotional judgment. Every week contains errors in planning, attention, or discipline. A calm mind studies them instead of hiding from them. The third habit is closing open loops. Tasks that remain unfinished continue occupying mental space. Completing or clearly rescheduling them restores clarity. The fourth habit is preparing the next week before it begins. Strategic thinkers do not wait for Monday to think about priorities. They enter the new week already oriented. The fifth habit is recording the lessons of the week. Writing these insights transforms experience into knowledge that compounds over time. When Friday becomes a moment of reflection instead of escape, something powerful begins to develop. Weeks stop feeling random. They become part of a deliberate structure. Monday gives direction. Tuesday builds momentum. Wednesday restores control. Thursday advances progress. Friday extracts wisdom. And slowly you begin to notice that productivity is not about working harder. It is about governing your time with awareness. Those who learn to govern their weeks eventually learn to govern their lives. The week becomes a system. Most people move through their weeks without noticing a pattern. They work hard, answer messages, complete tasks, and solve problems, yet at the end of the week, something feels unclear. Effort was made, but progress is difficult to measure. Days passed, but direction was uncertain. This happens because the week was never designed. Without structure, time dissolves into activity. Busyness replaces progress. The Stoics believed that a disciplined life is not created through occasional effort, but through repeated structure. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself in Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 2, Paragraph 1, that every morning is an opportunity to return to the work of being a rational and purposeful human being. A week works in the same way. When each day has a role, confusion disappears. Monday becomes the moment of direction. Tuesday becomes the engine of execution. Wednesday protects the week from collapse. Thursday creates expansion and visible advancement. Friday transforms experience into wisdom. This structure turns the week into a system instead of a sequence of random days. Over time, something remarkable begins to happen. Your mind becomes calmer because decisions are already guided by structure. Your attention becomes stronger because distractions no longer control your schedule. Your progress becomes visible because each day reinforces the next. Niccolò Machiavelli observed in Discourses on Livy, Book 1, Chapter 34, that order creates strength, while disorder weakens even the most capable individuals. A well-governed week creates that order. And once your weeks become disciplined, months begin to move differently. Goals that once felt distant start becoming achievable. Effort begins to compound. Clarity replaces confusion. At that moment, you realize something simple but powerful. Your life is not shaped by rare dramatic events. It is shaped by the quiet structure of your weeks. Govern the week, and you begin to govern the direction of your life.